Hey guys, welcome to the show and the free ringtone. How did I do it today? This was quite an interesting little experiment. Now yesterday I made a ringtone called I Want to Be With You, and it was in 4/4 time and 100 BPM. And I just thought today, I wonder what will happen if I speed it up a little. And I actually sped it up to 121, which is a bit of an odd figure, but that's just because I was sort of hurrying. But you could actually really easily just change to any tempo you want, absolutely any tempo. And then I thought, well, hang on, I sang it in 4/4, so that's not going to fit in with 3/4. So I just pressed that little button which follows the groove track. Now, when you change the tempo, the BPM, you automatically change the drum track. And that's really helpful for us. If your drum track is the groove track, everything else will follow it, as long as you tick the box. Do you see what I mean? So you need to tick that box to tell that track to follow the groove track. And it's actually better than yesterday's, I think. Of course, it's shorter. It's 8 seconds instead of 10 seconds. So bear that in mind. If you're doing a whole song and you're just at your sort of, minimum. I mean, I try to make mine about 3 minutes 50. But that just gives me a little bit of room to play with. Remember that if you change the time, if you speed things up, rather, you will shrink the whole track, and you could easily knock off, 20 seconds. I mean, if you up the time to 220, really hard industrial trance type stuff, you're going to lose that time. Dance tracks, it doesn't really matter so much because you can just, loop. Dance tracks are all about looping and keeping things very boxed, if you like. So there's not much less kind of ad-libbing type style. So here we go. Here's today's freebie, and just a little note about all the other channels. We've got 4 now, which is really nice. We've sort of smoothed everything out, and we've got 4 different stations. So we've got Telltale Club Music, which I'm going to focus on more acoustic things and backing tracks. So if you're looking for backing tracks to play along your practice to, or you want to use the backing tracks, that's absolutely fine by me. You'll be able to download them and use them as your base for, any of your compositions, if you like. So they'll be copyright free as well. What else are we doing? We're doing the music therapy, which I quite like to do in the evenings, but sometimes it's not practical. I mean, I'm going to do one now, and it's only 8 o'clock in the morning. So, 8:46 here in the UK. And the other one is Toddle Puddle, which is my children's site, my children's podcast. And that's a slow build. We're just trying to really start that from scratch. And we're doing some artworks for children's bedrooms. And we're doing, it's completely different to this show. Of course it is. And that's, one has to be diverse, I think. But also I've done an awful lot of children's music. And it seems such a shame to, waste it. And I thought, well, if I do a children's show, a kids show, I can share all my music recordings because I do still have them miraculously. So if you're interested in getting the kids to be a bit more musical, you could have a listen to that. That's called Toddle Puddle. Okay, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Here's your free ringtone today, free for personal use. Enjoy it, love it, free your soul in music. And when I find the right buttons.
I like your clothes and I like your hair. I want